In this nitty-gritty Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at I Love Mahj. I Love Mahj has an exercise room with exercises. That's why it's called the exercise room. Anyway, they have exercises that can help you learn the card and build your skills. One of the exercises has a change to it, and I'm going to share that with you today. It's a wonderful idea. I'm really glad they added this feature. So we'll get to that when we do gameplay with commentary after today's topic. Today's topic is tile efficiency, and I'll explain what that means. It's a topic that's very popular in Asian versions because those games are much more flexible and chows are more prevalent in those styles. But there are consecutive runs all over the card in American Mah Jongg. So this topic and this, let's call it a tactic, applies. So we're going to dig into that today. I want to say thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for sharing about MAHJLIFE with your friends. Also, I want to give a shout out to our channel moderators. Thank you for helping monitor the chat today. The format will be nitty-gritty, which means we're not going to do any socializing in the chat. We're going to stick to the topic and gameplay with commentary. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Cindy, hello. Evelyn, thanks for being here. All right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dig in. Oh, that's the wrong. There we go. Okay. American Mah Jongg, strategy by wall. That is one of the ways to pace yourself in the game, if you're wondering. And we'll talk a little bit about it. And then tile efficiency. This is the topic for today. When you are playing this game, you have to have a hand that fits a pattern on the card. So in order to go from randomly dealt tiles to something that fits on the card, you've got to do hand development. There are some tactics that I'm going to share with you for hand development, but at a high level, here's what happens. First, when you get your dealt hand, you target the strength of the hand, whatever that may be. And we're going to talk about some tactics that can help you do this. And then you gather, okay, I've got a little glitch in here, but you gather tiles to support the strength of the hand, regardless of suit. And then you build multiples to optimize quick hand development, because the hands on the card all have, at a minimum, pairs. There are singles as well, but pair pung kong. So eventually you're going to have to build up those multiples, unless, of course, you're playing the singles and pairs category. And then along the way, you're going to defend. So you target the strength of the hand, you gather tiles to support the strength of the hand, and then you build. And along the way, you defend. Target, gather, build, defend. That is the high-level process for hand development. Tile efficiency is a hand development technique that applies when playing any hand with components that form a consecutive pattern. The power of tile efficiency is agility, staying flexible, keeping fluid, being adaptable. That's all about agility. And in order to maintain that, you've got to understand tile efficiency. When you look at all the tiles that we play with, there are 3 suits with a 9-number sequence. There are far more of these tiles than any other tile, because, of course, we have 4 of every tile and the 3 suits. Working with number tiles allows players to optimize the process of hand development because there's so much flexibility there. Hands that use the number or the blocks of number tiles in a sequence are powerful because they're up to 5 numbers in a range. If you look at the consecutive run category, you can see the widest range of the sequence is 5 numbers. That's with hand 1, hand 4, and hand, let's see, 7. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Hand 7, second from the bottom. There are 3 hands there with a 5 number range. Otherwise, you have 3 numbers or 4 numbers in a range. So 3 to 5 numbers in a range. And here's what it's going to look like. With 1s, you can go up. You can go up to 5. With a 2, you can go down 1 and up to 6, and so on until you get to the middle number. This has the greatest efficiency. The closer you get to 5, the greater tile efficiency you have, the greater flexibility you have. And then going towards 9, you're going to have that same flexibility until you get to 9, and you can only go down from 9. So just know that the closer you are to the center of the run, the more flexibility you will have. Here are the hand development techniques or tactics that can help you with hand development. The first is to optimize. This is when you have pair pung kong, any combination. If you have a multiple, target the multiple, and then select tiles that can be used with that multiple, because eventually you're going to need them anyway. Why not start with strength? So in this case, with this example, we have a joker, flowers, which by the way is a multiple, but we're focusing on the symbol tiles other than the flowers because they're used all over the card. We have west, red, 4, 6, 9, and bams, 2, crack, 2, 3, 4, and dots. So we have a pair 4 dots. That's where I would start, the 4 dot pair and the flowers. So whatever we play, we would use those 2 multiples. So by looking at the 4s, you would say to yourself, what can I use of these tiles in my hand that can be useful with those 4s? And I would say probably either 2, 3, 4 of some kind, or like numbers with 4s. So that would mean that we discard, let's say, the west, the 6, and the 9, which is a little bit risky, but that's okay. A little bit of risk is okay. You want to do the best you can with what you have left over after you identify your keepers. So this is how I would play it. I would keep 2, 3, 4, maybe the dragon, at least for 1 pass to see, and then pass west 6, 9. This is called optimizing, targeting the multiple. That's optimize. The next one is called maximize. This is when you maybe don't have multiples and you just have single tiles. You've got to look for a predominant pattern. So here it looks like we have a lot of 2, 4, 6, 8. That's what my eye sees. A lot of 2, 4, 6, 8. We've got 3 2s, 2 4s, and 2 8s. 2, 4, 8. That speaks to evens. So I would probably say that evens would be a good category to play because it maximizes the use of our tiles. And maybe I would discard red dragon, 1 bam, and then the 3 dot. The reason I would do that is because it leaves us open for potentially developing a consecutive run hand. And in this case, we got another pass and we have now a pair of 5s. So when you're maximized with what I call a widespread, no multiples, and you develop a multiple during the Charleston, target the multiple and reassess. Just completely start over by targeting the multiple and then looking for tiles that can support the multiple. So we were looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, but we paired up a 5. So now we have a multiple. You start over, target the multiple, and then you look for tiles that can be now used with the 5. So instead of playing 2, 4, 6, 8, I would play 2, 3, 4, 5. We would be able to target the multiple and use most of our tiles in this case. So we're optimized and maximized. So we would let go of, let's say, the 1 crack, 2 bam, 8 dot, one of each suit, and change from evens to consecutive run because of the 5 bam pair. The next tactic is called streamline. Streamlining is when you focus on consecutive runs of any kind. So with this example, we have a pair of fives. So we're going to target the multiple and then keep tiles that support it. Streamlining would be using tiles in consecutive runs. So we would play 3, 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6, 7. Either one, but we have to be able to pass. So I would let the 7 go and stick to 3, 4, 5, 6 because it's a little bit more flexible, being that there's 2 3s here. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have an east and then a 7 1 for passing. This is streamlining. So the 3 tactics are optimize, maximize, streamline. Optimize is targeting multiples. Maximize is using most of your tiles, and streamlining is playing consecutive run. When you can do all 3, you can have a powerful chance at optimizing your winning hand because you're using these 3 tactics in one hand. I'd say your chances are pretty good at having a fantastic result after the Charleston. Let me see. Thought I got a message here, but no. All right, next, we're going to talk about how efficiency works. We've just been dealt this hand. We have east-west pair, 3, 4, 5 in bams, pair 4, pair 5. Then we have 2, 4, 6 in cracks, pair 4, and an 8 dot. The multiples are west, 4, 5 bam, 4 crack pair. So clearly we're going to play consecutive run. There is potential, though, for Winds and Dragons, 3rd from the bottom or 6th hand down, east and west with like numbers, but there's a gap. No 4 dot. No 4 dot. When we could maybe play some kind of even hand, for example, there's no gap there. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, and that would leverage 2 pair, the 4s. However, we've got consecutive tiles in here. This would be the better choice because of tile efficiency. We could do 2, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get 7s, we could even do 3, 4 or 4, 5, 6, 7. So the idea there is you can move up or down the range, which creates that efficiency and agility. We're going to play at I Love Mahj now, and I'm going to demonstrate the 3 tactics: optimize, maximize, and streamline. Especially, we're going to focus on opportunities to streamline so that we can demonstrate tile efficiency and agility. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to share my screen and we'll get to I Love Mahj. Let me just fix a little something here. What? Why? Oh. Thought there was... I know what I wanted to do here. Hold on one second. Does anybody have any questions about tile efficiency? I don't see any questions. Okay. Here is I Love Mahj. I Love Mahj is a fantastic place to play. One of the things that I like about it is they have intelligent robots, and we're going to look at that in a little bit. You can play with robots, play with friends, or even play with strangers. So we'll look at that in a little while. Here's the exercise room. They have lots of exercises, and for the sake of time, we're not going to look at these except for the Charleston practice. That's what we're going to focus on. Charleston practice, and we'll do 1 or 2 of these, and then I'll show you that new feature. So here's our first dealt hand. We have here a joker, a south, 1, 5, 7, 8 in bams, 4, 7, 8, 9 in cracks, Then we have 1, 3, 7 in dots, pair 7. If these were your tiles, what would you focus on? Which category? We're not picking a hand. Don't pick a hand. You don't need to pick a hand until you run out of discards. So just focus on what category you would play if these were your tiles. Put it in chat if you'd like to share. And I'll give you about 10 seconds. Okay, if these were my tiles, I would first tell myself, ooh, we have a lot of odds. 5, 7 in bam, 7, 9 in cracks, and a 1, 3, 5. There's even a 1 bam and a 5. So we have a lot of odds. We could play odds, but we also have 7, 8, 9. We could streamline and use that pair 7 either way. If you sort by rank, you'll see the numbers in numerical order here. We have 2 1s, a 3, a 4, a 5, and then we have 4 7s, 2 8s, and a 9. So you could either play odds 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, or you could play 7, 8, 9 of some kind. We're going to do this twice. Let's stick with odds because we would be maximized. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles towards odds. We're not picking a hand, just odd tiles. Now we could maybe do consecutive run where we have 7, 8, 9. Because the range is 5 numbers, I would keep the 5 anyway. So I'd keep 5 through 9. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's one more tile in here towards odds. So let's do odds first, and then we'll do consecutive run, and we'll compare the results. Now, the passes are going to change between. Our passes are going to be the same from at the beginning, our first pass, for example, but because of the chain reaction that occurs, the passes will change, and we'll be able to compare results between odds and consecutive run. It's going to be interesting to see how tile efficiency plays a part in the result. So if we're going to play odds, we're going to discard the south, the 8, and the 4. I typically don't pass like numbers, so I would pass 8, 4 instead of 2 8s. Okay, so we've got a lot of odds in here, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 of some kind. We're passing south, 8, 4. Here we go. So we got a 7 and a 5. A lot of 5, 7, 9 in here. There's a north. We have 5 bam pair, 7 bam, 7 crack pair, 9 crack, 7 dot pair. I would let the 8 go, and then probably one of the 1s. Probably I would let go of the 1 bam. We actually have a hand in here, the first hand under odds. And we don't need to pick that hand right away because we still have 3 discards. You don't need to pick a hand till you run out of discards, but I do see that pattern in here. 1, 3 dot, 5 bam, 7, 9 crack. So let's see what happens though with what we get. We got a 5. And now we have 2 clear discards, 3 and 4. That's going to be a little bit risky, but you want to focus on your own hand development first, and then you pass as defensively as possible with tiles left over. So we have 5, 7 bam, 5, 7, 9 in cracks. Then we have a 1, 3 dot and a 7 dot pair. I think I would probably at this point pick a hand because I've got to make a choice on all of our keepers. We need to let a keeper go. So this is when you would pick a hand. When you're forced to that point where you've got to discard a wanted tile, that's when you pick a hand. So we could play 1, 3 dot, 5 bam, 7, 9. That would use both of our 2 of 3 multiples. You're not going to be able to use all the multiples. Incidentally, we could even maybe play like numbers. So if these were my tiles, I would probably, let's see, 5, 7, 9. There's the concealed hand. You need a pair of flowers there. That's a gap. We have no flowers, so I would not play that hand. And also we don't have, let's say, a 5 dot or a 9 dot to help us with that hand. So I would not even think about that one. I would probably focus on the first hand and let the 5, either the 5 crack or the 7 go. Probably the 5 crack. You know what we could do though? We could let the 7 dot go. Because if we were to get a 9 dot, maybe we could play that concealed hand. But it would be a long shot because we have no flowers. You want to stay away from long shots. Okay, now here's a 5 dot. We got in a 5 dot. Here's a 9 bam. Let's just sort and reassess. So we have 2 5 in bams, pair 5, 7, 8. Then we have 5, 7, 9 in cracks, pair 7. We have 1, 3, 5 in dots, and then a 7 dot. So singles over there. No flowers. We have 1 clear discard, the 2 bam. So this is where you would want to make sure you know what hand you're playing or whittle down your options. I would still consider maybe that concealed hand, but again, it's going to be a long shot. We could also consider, let's see, the first hand on the right, that is still there. We have no flowers. You got to keep that in mind. We could still maybe even consider like numbers with 7s. I think I would stick with the first hand because it has no gaps. If you have options where you have gaps versus an option with no gaps, let the one with gaps go. Just let it go. Focus on the strength of the hand where you have no gaps. So we're going to do 1, 3 dot, 5 bam, 7, 9 in cracks. So let's let the 7, let's see, this is second left. We already gave our opponent on the left a 7. So a 7 dot. We don't want to give them a pair. So let's give them the 9 bam and a 5 crack. So we have 1, 3 dot, 5 bam, 7, 9 in cracks. The first hand on the right. Okay, we got a 7 and we have tiles we can pass. We'll give the 7 to another person. We got the 5 crack. So there's a couple going around in here. I think we could just go ahead and pass those. And the 5 crack again. So we can pass 3 for sure. Let's do 6, 5, 8. Okay, we got the 7 back. Here's a 3. So now look at the result. We have 4 discards. If you have 4 discards, you can consider yourself to be a contender for that game. That's a great result. We have hand 1-2 under odds, no gaps. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We need pairs in here. This is the vulnerability here. We need a 1 dot and a 9 crack. One of those would be great to pick before too long because you've got to have your at least only one pair remaining to develop. Otherwise, you could paint yourself into a corner if you start making exposures. So in this case, we want either a 1 dot or a 9 crack in our hand before we commit to this hand. Anytime you've got pairs, you've got to take that approach. Otherwise, you could commit yourself to an unwinnable hand if someone makes an exposure with your pair tile. So I'd say that was a really great result. We're going to do this again, and we're going to focus on consecutive run. Actually, you know what? Let's do like numbers first, and then we'll compare odds, like numbers, and consecutive run. Just because of the tiles that have been going around, we have a lot of 7s in here, and 5s, by the way. 5s and 7s. So let's see what happens if we focus on 7s. 5, 7, 7, 9. 5, 7. Well, yes, we could do 5, 7, 7, 9, but we'd have to throw away a pair of 3s. I think we should leverage the pair of threes, but 5779 would probably have also been had good result. Let's just see though. We're gonna do replay with the same times. So we're gonna sort by suit and we're gonna hold sevens. So south is a tile that we could use because we have north and south with odds, fourth hand down. So let's keep that. We'll let the 4 and the 3 go. So we have 1, 3, 4 here. We can do this again with odds, or maybe even do it now and then do sevens next. So let's let the 1 go with the 4, and then let's let the 8 crack go. If we're going to do 5, 7, 9, see, this is where I prefer not to pick a hand. If we're picking that second hand down, that's a specific hand. Let's see, there is that news hand though. What about the third hand from the bottom? Let's see if that comes in. So 5, 7, 7, 9 with news, third hand from the bottom, or the second hand down on the right. Let's see what happens. So we need to let something go. We'll let this 8 go. Okay, there's a 5. A 1 can go. 5, 7, 7, 9. We don't have a 9 dot, and there's that pair. I do not pass like numbers, so we have to make a choice. Since we have a 5 band pung and a 7 dot pair, we have to either let a 7 or a 9 go. To have a hand with no gaps, let's let the 7 dot go, and then let's put 2 different suits there. So we had to sacrifice the 7 dot. Here's a west. Let's keep it, and then we'll pass those 3. We got a 9 band, and here's a dragon. 9 band dragon. We have no gaps for the third hand down. I would pass 3, and probably what I would do is I would not pass 1, 3, 7. I would probably let a wind go. And then our result is terrible. In this case, we're going to be an underdog here. North, south, here's an 8. So we tried big odds, 5, 7, 7, 9. It didn't quite work. Even though the tiles are there, look at our discards. If we were to pick a hand now, maybe that third hand down, we have 7 discards. So we would be an underdog. So let's do this again. And we're going to focus on like numbers this time. So we'll sort by rank. Look at the 7s that we have here. 7s. We may be able to do north and south with 7s. If we get dragons, we'll keep them. But here's the problem. All right, let's keep it positive. Here's the challenge. We have no flowers. The like number hands in that category require flowers, and we have none. So I would still consider like numbers, but maybe focus on north and south with 7s. That would be in the wind and dragon category, fifth hand down. So let's let the 1 go with a 3 and a 4. Okay, we got a north. Let's let the 1 dot go with a 4 band, and let's say the 8 crack. Okay, we got another north and a dragon, by the way. Let's discard 1 crack, 8 bam, 4 dot. There's another north and a west. Here's a green dragon. Let's let that go. We're going to keep going. We'll pass the 9 crack, 5 bam green. Here's an east. And we have 4 tiles we can pass. There's a south, and we have definitely tiles we can pass. 5, 8 east. All right, and now we can do 3 west, 1, 3. And we have a north. So this was a great result for like numbers. North and south with 7s. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth hand down, 3 discards. We would be a front runner. If you have less than 4 or fewer than 4 discards, you can consider yourself to be a front runner. So like numbers with 7s is what I would focus on. We could Kong the south and pung the 7. We're set, actually. Pung, or sorry, Kong the South, Pung the 7, and be ready on a 7 bam or 7 crack for the win. 5th hand down. This was an awesome result. So now we had a underdog result with 5-7-7-9 specifically. We had a contender result for 1-3-5-7-9 first hand in mixed suits. And then we did the like numbers with north and south. We're a front runner for this one. So let's now do consecutive run and compare the result with that. We're going to sort by suit. So we're going to hold 5 through 9. We'll let the south go, the 1 and the 4. So we're going to hold all 5 through 9. So we can let the 1, 4, 3 go. That is a little bit risky there. A little bit risky. We're hoping to get in a 6. There's a 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have now all keepers. All keepers. 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. We got to pick a hand because we have all keepers now. This is when you pick a hand. Not until this point. Until this point, we're gathering. We're gathering tiles that can support the multiple. In this case, 5 bam, 7 crack. So if we target the multiple, optimize. Okay, we're optimized. And we're maximized because we're using all of our tiles. All of our tiles are keepers. So we're maximized and we're streamlined. Streamlined because we're using consecutive run. So we can do 5, 6, 7, 8, pung kong, maybe. We also have a 7 dot pair here. Let's see if there's something we can do with that. 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. The only way we could use those 7s, and we could consider it, and that would be the second hand from the bottom under consecutive run. Let's keep the 8. Because we could do 5, 6, 7, 8, but we could also do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 7s, second hand from the bottom. Let's sacrifice a 5 and see what happens. If someone discards a 5, we can always pung with the discard. So let's see what we get here. I'm thinking the second hand from the bottom or the second hand down on the right. Okay, we got a 6. There's an 8. We have 1 clear discard. So we're going to keep going and we're going to have to let something go. We have 5, 6 bam, 7, 8. I would focus on the multiples. So I would let the 7, 8 go and focus on 5, 6, 7, 8, second hand down. That would leverage 3 of 4 multiples. You want to use the most of your multiples. Let's see. Gosh, I would kind of like to play that. No, we got to focus on the multiples. You got to target the strength of the hand. We could play that second hand from the bottom, but we don't have a 7 bam where we would have to sacrifice 2 pair to play that hand. If we play the second hand down, we can leverage those pairs. So let's keep them. So we're going to do 3, 4. We'll keep our options open, even though that's a risky pass. You want to set yourself up for success and do the best you can with what you have left over. These 2, 3, 4 tiles, those are left over. We don't need those. We need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we don't know which one yet until we get an indicator. And there it is, 7. So now we know we can let the 7 dot go because now we have a pung in there. So let's let these 3 go. And we can pass 3. All right, we have 3 discards, 7 dot joker bait. Actually, you know what we have in here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. We've got options. So I would say we could be a contender here for the second hand down or the second hand from the bottom. We could do 5, 6, 7, 8, pung kong, use the 7 dot for joker bait, or we could do 4 through 8 or 4 through 8, let's say, with 7s as a long shot, second hand from the bottom. I'd probably say the second hand down on the right. Okay, now any comments or questions about tile efficiency and about how flexible the consecutive runs can be. The key there is when you're working with consecutive numbers, you can delay the choice of narrowing down your options with hands because you've got greater flexibility. Whereas when you're playing like numbers, evens, odds, you've got to pick a hand much earlier. So you're able to stay agile, which gives you many more options. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And we're going to do Charleston modeling one more time. And let's see, let's play out the one where we had the strongest potential to win it was with like numbers. So I'm going to replay with tiles. We're going to replay with the same tiles, and we're going to focus on north and south with sevens. Let's see, north and south with sevens. I wonder if the robots would pass the same way. Or for the sake of the exercise or this topic, let's focus on tile efficiency. Let's focus on consecutive run. So we're going to do it again. We're going to focus on big numbers, 5 through 9. And then I'm going to show you that new feature. So we're going to hold 5 through 9. Let's see if we get different tiles. Okay. So there's a 7. We've got, like numbers. So I wouldn't pass like numbers here. 5, 7, 8, 7 dot pair, 7 crack pair, 8, 9, 8. Maybe this is where that second hand from the bottom comes in. Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 7, 7, 7, 8, 9. We're on the edge there. Let's let the 9 go and drive our range towards 5 to force more efficient tiles. The edge tile there, that 9, you can only go down. So let's let the 9 go. Okay, so here's an 8. We'll keep it. We've got tiles we can pass. We've got tiles we can pass again. So this is looking a little different, which is good. Okay, we did get 9s. There's 8, 9. Here's a 9 again. We've got 2 clear discards, so we can let those go. And again, I would let the 9 crack go because we are developing a run 5 through 9. Maybe we can play that second hand from the bottom. Okay, we've got 2 tiles to pass. 5, 7, bam, 7, 8, 7, 8. We've got like numbers with 7s. We have 5 through 9. We need a 6 in there. Let's let the 8 crack go. Okay, so now we can pass 1, let's say west with, let's do a north with an 8. Okay, so we have 5 discards. 5 discards, north, south. We do have the 7s. Maybe we can switch to north and south with 7s. Let's see how many discards we have here. 5. 5 discards for north and south with 7. Let's just start by continuing. That's the feature. Continue game. So you can do Charleston modeling, and if you like your result, keep going. So we're going to keep going. We're going to discard the west. So we could play either 5 through 9 with 7s. So let's keep this 9 and the 8. We have 1 discard. Or we could do north and south with 7s. We don't need dragons. So one of the things that you'll see here is you can't see the discards. So we're going to finish this exercise and then we're going to play with robots. So we're operating in a vacuum a little bit here. 6 stars. 3. We got a joker. Let's see, we need a 6 bam in here. I'm thinking north and south with 7s would be the hand to play because we have 2 pair of 7s and a pair south. So we would have to make a choice right now. Since we have no 6 band or 7 band for that second hand from the bottom, I would call and oops, yeah, Kong. Okay. So now let's let the 9 go. So we're doing north and south with 7s. Okay, now that is a pair for, oh, wait, we could pung or pair. Let's just do it. We could pung. We've got our single and our pair. Oh, there. Oh, gosh. Ooh, that's terrible. Okay, thank you for that, Jill. That hurts my eyes, though. That is sensory overload big time. Okay, so we'll just keep it going. There's a joker. Okay, so we're ready now. We're ready now at 76 tiles remaining. We're still in the middle game. We only just entered the middle game with 1 discard. So we're doing really well. We need a south and none are out. So we already have our 7. Oh, include exposures in count. We're looking for a south or a joker. There's a joker open. And there's a joker open. We already have our 7. Maybe this player on the right is playing wins. We already have our 7. Wow. There it is. All right, we got a mahjong. So that's the 5th hand down. I'm surprised it took that long. All right, so we're going to exit and play with robots now. We're going to go up here and we'll play. I play with intermediate robots. I think the robots are formidable regardless of the level. Okay. All right, so we're going to look for opportunities to streamline, but we want to use all 3 tactics: optimize by targeting multiples, maximize by using most of our tiles, and streamline by focusing on consecutive runs. I call that a power play. So let's see if we can do that. We have a pair of white dragon though. In this one, I would just optimize, target multiples, and not streamline or maximize because we've got 2 multiples. We could maybe try for, let's say, one of the dragon hands, 2nd hand down under wins. We have the 4th hand down, the concealed hand. Since we have like numbers, let's keep the 1s and maybe play like numbers with 1s and dragons. And then let's just stop there and pass. We got to be able to pass tiles. Okay, so we did get pair 6. So I would reassess. Anytime you develop a new multiple, reassess. We have a 6-band pair, south, red, white. I would let the 1s go at this point. 6-band pair. So let's let the 1, 3, or 4 go. 1, 3, 1, 3, 2. Let's let the 4 go. I think that's probably the best we can do. Let's see, 2, 4, and 1 suit. Actually, let's do 1 dot with a 3 band. That might be a little more difficult to work with for our opponent. You know what I was just thinking? What if we maybe do 369? 369 with dragons? 369 with dragons. We don't have the right dragon for that though. I don't think so. Let's just keep going. Okay, there's a 6. We've got tiles we can pass. Let's see. Here's a 3 now though. Okay, I'm thinking we should let at least one of these wins go. We could still maybe do news with dragons, so let's keep 1 south. But here we have 3-6. 3-6. We need a green dragon, maybe for the concealed hand. But we could maybe do, we still really need that green dragon for the 3rd hand down, let's say. Let's let one of the, actually, we could still keep the south and let the 2 go. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we have a 179. I would let it go at this point. Let's do 6 with a 7. Although we could maybe streamline 6, 7, 6. Here's a 9. 3, 6, 9. Let's let the 7 go. It looks like 3, 6, 9 here. 3, 6, 9 of some kind. 3, 6, 9. I'm thinking the concealed hand maybe, or the third hand down. We need a green dragon. There's 9s. We've got like numbers with 2s here. All right, so now we pick a hand. We're on last right. This is when you dig in. This is when you dig down to the hand level. So with 3, 6, 9, we have a flower, and then we have 3, 6, 9 singles, and then we have 3, 9, maybe the 4th hand down. It's not quite gelling though because we don't have any other 3. 3, 6, 9 with 9s. 2nd hand from the bottom, but we have singles. 3, 6, 9. Okay, so what I would probably focus on is the concealed hand with 3 dot 6 bam 9 crack. I would probably keep the 6 dot for like numbers, switching to like numbers, the 1st hand under like numbers. So we could do like that. 3 red or 3 green, 6 bam. We need a green dragon, 9 red. So let's just see what happens here. We'll discard the 2 man, the 9 dot, and a dragon. Okay, let's just think about it for a minute though, because I would probably keep that pair. If we get a 6 crack, we could switch to the like number hand concealed, pair flowers, pungs, any dragon. I think I would keep that white dragon. Let's just pass 2 because I don't pass like numbers typically. Very rarely, unless I have a really strong hand. Okay, no keepers, and now we can pass 3. We could even keep the 9 since it's in our category. Okay, let's let the wins go. So we're playing 3, 6, 9 of some kind. We don't need to pick a hand. We could also maybe play like numbers with 6s. So let's just see what we get. There's a red. So we have red and, aha, you know what I was just thinking? Maybe we could switch to the 2nd hand down under Winds and Dragons if we get a little consecutive run. Look, we have a 2-3 here. 2-3. Let's see. Let's let this 9 bam go. We have 1 discard before we really have to pick a hand. A 7. Maybe we can do 7, 8, 9. So we have 2, 3, and 7, 9. If we get that green dragon, I would switch to the 2nd hand down under Winds and Dragons. A north. A 2. We really don't need a 2. We've got a 6 pair. 2 sixes. I would let it go. Red. Okay, so now we let things go. We have like numbers with sixes. We could do the second hand down. Maybe the green dragon can be with the joker, pung, green dragon, pair white, pung, green, Kong, red. And then we can do a chow with 2, 3, or 7, 9. Since we have a pair and a pung of dragons, let's let the 6 dot go. Because we could still play 3, 6, 9 concealed. Oh, that's what we need. A 3 dot. Okay, so now that's leading me towards the concealed hand. So we have dragon, dragon, like so. 3, dragon, 6, dragon. We need a single green dragon. So that is a little bit of a risk, but we could leverage the 3 and the 6. We could also maybe switch to the second hand down on the right under 3, 6, 9. There's the second green and now a white. Let's sort. Red, white, 7, 9. We need a green dragon in here. 3, 9, 7. This is getting a little dicey. I think I would let one of these go. Let's let the white dragon go. We still might be able to do 7, 8, 9 with dragons and use this for the green. Or we could play 3, 6, 9 concealed. There's a joker. So now if a green dragon goes down, we could pung and then Kong the red and be ready on an 8. We need a flower though. I think I would let the 3 go here. So second hand down. Well, we need that 9 crack right there. Let's let that go. I guess we could keep that for a minute. We have news with dragons potentially. That kind of came in and out of our hand. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 south south. That's what we need. That's our chow tile. Let's see. 3. Let's let the 6 go. Oh, look, joker, joker. Let's nab that baby. Okay, let's let the north go. So now we need a flower or the 8 crack. If a green dragon goes down, we could pung or Kong. There are 2 green dragons out. Let's leave our options open. So this is where tile efficiency comes in. We have a 3. There's a 2, 1, 3. Let's see, 2, 3, 1 cracks out. There's a 2 crack out. 2, 2 cracks are out. We have 1 dot on the edge. So we're going to let the ones go. We'll try to stay as close to the center of the run as possible for tile efficiency. Because if we get a 4, we could do 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4. There's a 5 there. There's 2 2s. So let's just see. There's the flower. Okay, now we need a green dragon and an 8 crack. There. So there are 2 green dragons out. So let's Kong. So we're ready on an 8 crack now. Which is not ideal because it's in the middle. Now, if we draw a 6, we can discard the 9 and be ready on a 5 or an 8. So let's see if we can improve this. It's called a weight, W-A-I-T, weight. This is a closed weight. We need that middle tile. If we can get this to a 6, then we would have what's called a two-sided weight where we need either a 5 or an 8. So that would be better. So let's see if we can get a 6 crack. Oh, there's our win. So we got dragons with 7, 8, 9 chow. Second hand down. That was a fun hand to play. And we used all 3 tactics. We targeted the multiples, so we were optimized. We used most of our tiles, I believe, so we were maximized. And then we used consecutive run a little bit here. So we're slightly streamlined because we have a 7, 8, 9 in there. So now we're going to play a new game. All right. We have Joker, Flower, East, 4, 6 in BAMs, 2, 7, 8, 9 in cracks with a pair of 9s, 3, 4, 9 in dots. If these were your tiles, what category would you focus on? If these were my tiles, I would target the 9. So we'd be optimized by targeting the 9 because it's pair. Target multiples to optimize hand development. Then look at the rest of your tiles and keep as many as you can to support the strength of the hand, which is going to be anything with that 9 crack. So I would keep 7, 8, 9, streamline. There's a 9, and we even have a 6. So we can do 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we do have a 3 in here. We may be able to play a 3, 6, 9, which would be not as flexible, obviously, as consecutive run. So I would focus on consecutive run and pass those 3. Here's a 5. So we have 5 through 9. Here's a 3, 4. But our 9 crack pair, that is what we're targeting. So we do not need that 4. And I would not pass like numbers with 4. So I'd let the 3 go and streamline. So we are optimized by targeting the 9 multiple. We are maximized by using most of our tiles, 5 through 9, and we are streamlined. So we have a power play, all 3 tactics. So we're going to keep 5 and 6. We've got 2 tiles to pass. Now is when we pick a hand. We have 5, 6 pairs. We have a 9 crack pair. Sometimes your multiples may not work together. Like in this case, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's too far. That's too broad of a range. So we either need to, for example, break up the 5, 6, which I wouldn't do because that's 2 consecutive pairs, or sacrifice the 9. That's what I would do. I would play 5, 6, 7, 8, second hand down. 5, 6, 7, 8, pung kong, and I would sacrifice the 9. Maybe let the 9 dot go. We could see what comes in here, but I don't think there's any way to use a 5, 6 with a 9 crack. And the 5, 6 consecutive pairs like that is far more efficient than the 9. The 9 is on the edge. You can only go down. So probably we'll sacrifice that. Okay, so we did end up with a 9 BAM. We could maybe try to trend up to a 9 BAM. I would keep going and I'd sacrifice the 9 crack. So now we have to let something else go. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, no gaps. So that's probably what I would do and let the 7 dot go. Okay, so here's another 9 BAM. 5, 6, 7. We have a gap between 6 and 9. Kind of interesting how that came in. Now we have like numbers with 9s. Here's a 3. You know what we could maybe do? Hold on. Maybe we can switch to 3, 6, 9 and let the fives go. 5, 6, 7, 8, or 3, 6, 9. It's not gelling. We only have 1 6. So I wouldn't do that. I think I would do 5, 6, bam, 7, 8, crack. So I would probably, we have to let something go. We have to pass like numbers or sacrifice a tile. Let's let the 7 crack go and pass this 9 dot. We're sacrificing a tile. Okay, so now here's a 6. We have East, Dragon, 6, or 9. We don't need that 9 at all. Okay, so now there's a 7, 9, South. We have 5, 6, 9, 6, 8, 7, 5, 6, 9, 6, 8, 5, 6, 6, 7. Let's see. Probably that 7 can go, and probably the 9. I would pass 3. I would risk that. We need help.
So,
Oh my gosh, look, we got basically the same tiles. Okay, so we're going to be an underdog. I would not pick a hand. We're just going to gather.
7.
So we're in gather mode. You know how you target, gather, build, defend? We're in gather. So we're probably an underdog here. There's a keeper maybe. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe we could play 5, 7, 9, third hand down on the right. We have a 6 and not a 7, but you never know. We can keep that dragon for a little while.
No.
We definitely don't need that. 9, bam. Okay, let's see, 5, 9. Let's let the 9 dot go. Joker. So we have a pair pung there. I'm kind of thinking if we do that third hand down, we could use this as our 7 and pung if it goes down and leverage the pair and the pung. 5, 7, 9 dragon. It's a hand of least resistance. It's not ideal because we'd have to break out a pair, but unless we get a 7, 8 and bams for the first consecutive run hand, I would keep the 6s for just a little while. Let's let the 7 dot go. If a 7 bam goes down, we need to pung and go for that third hand down, I think. That would fill a gap. White dragon. We could keep that for a little bit because there's another 5, 7, 9 hand with pairs of dragons. If we get a red, there's a red right there, though. Let's let the 6 crack go. Oh, there's a joker. Don't need 4. Okay, now I would not do anything there because we've got a gap. The only way we could really use that is if we pung. Let's see if we do 5 through 9, but we have 2 gaps for 5 through 9, no 7 and no 8. And 8 just went down. I would not take that. We're going to ignore it and probably just let it go. We're just going to let it go. Oh my gosh, there's an 8 now. So that changes things though, because now we have only 1 gap. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not ideal, but we'll see. At the moment, we have 1 discard, actually 2. We have 2 discards. So technically, we don't need to pick a hand yet. Red dragon. The red dragon came in. Either whatever we play here, we don't need a flower. Let's let the flower go. Okay, so look at the dragon hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hand down under odds. 5, bam, 7, bam, we would need 2 pung. Then we need a 9 bam Kong and pairs of offsuit dragons or opposite dragons. So We would need a red or white dragon as soon as possible to make that work. I think we're better off with 579 dragon, third hand down, because that's a hand of least resistance and you can use any number of jokers. But now we got the red. Let's let the 6 go. So I'm thinking 579 dragon. Now that we have that pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hand down under odds. We need that to be our pair. So we're in a little bit of a tight spot. There's only one more white dragon, and we need it as a pair. So we need to keep this dragon in case we have to fall back to the hand of least resistance, third hand down.
Yeah.
We're good there. We need that white dragon. Okay, let's pung. I think we need to pung. We need to pung either way. So now we have no gaps. Scavengers. We're not ready to call that. Joker. Oh, this is risky. We made it. Okay, we're ready on a white dragon. Third hand down on the right. Now we could Kong, but then we would throw away a joker. That's gonna spook the table. I don't know how these robots react. I would just stay, if I were playing with humans, I would stay concealed and not spook them. We're at 37 tiles remaining. If we discard a joker, that's gonna throw out a red flag on the play, and that people are gonna know that we're ready to win on probably a pair tile. So we're just gonna ignore it. Nobody knows what we're playing with only one exposure. We need the white dragon. Oh, this player over here, they did not need that stinking white dragon. Why did they hold that? That was our winning tile. Look at though, we got really close, and that was a bit of a struggle, that journey, but we got ready to win, which is fantastic. So here we have the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand with even singles, fourth hand down. Okay, here we go. We're gonna play a new game. They did not need that white dragon. Why did they hold that? They probably knew we needed it. Not with one exposure. There's no way. They wouldn't have been able to surmise that at all with one exposure. And there were 2 white dragons out, so it appeared that nobody wanted the dragons. So I don't know why they held it, but anyhow, we have a wide spread here. We have joker, northwest, red, white, singles, 2 bam, 1, 3, 6, 8 in cracks, 4, 6, 9 in dots. If these were your tiles, what category would you focus on? I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, here we go. Evens. Charlotte says evens. So if these were my tiles, I would probably focus on evens because there are 2 6s. 2 6s. Anytime I have a wide spread, I look for like numbers to reveal a pattern. We have 2 6s. So we could do 2, 4, 6, 8, or we could even do 3, 6, 9. But we could also do 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 3, 6, 9. All of those would use sixes. So let's let the north go with a red dragon, and then we'll let the 1 go. So this way we can do evens, 3, 6, 9, or 3, 4, 5, 6. Clearly we have no 5, so that's going to be a long shot. We've got a 6. We have a pair west, so we got to think about that. Pair west, target multiples. We can let the 1 go, the dragon can go. And I'm thinking the evens in here are really not gelling. We have a 2 bam 6, 6 8 crack, 4 6 dot. It's really not gelling. I think like numbers with sixes or 3 6 9 is better. Let's let the 2 bam go. Okay, there's a 7 and an east. Here's a north. If we, our only multiple is a west, so we should consider wins. Let's let the 8, the 4, and the 7 go. We can do east and west with sixes, or maybe 3 6 9. There's a 6. We've got tiles we can pass. There is some 3 6 9 in here. 3 6 9 right there. 3 6 6 9. Let's let the north go. Okay, so we have tiles we can pass. We have 3 6 9 or east and west with sixes. No keepers. And I would not pass like numbers here. Let's do 3 6 9, or let's do east and west with sixes. And that way we can leverage that pair of west. Okay, we've got tiles we can pass. Is there a way for us to see the scorecard you're playing with if we haven't bought it? No, I can't show the card because it's copyrighted. But I can explain the shape and pattern of the hand to give you an idea of the hand. Like right now, we're playing what I call east and west with evens. You need even like numbers, single pair pung, any even number, single pair pung shape, and then Kong's east-west. Kong's east-west with single pair pung, like numbers, even like numbers. So we have 666 east-west. That does not bode well. There's a 6. So east and west with sixes, single pair pung, Kong east-west. So we're going to ignore that. I discard dragons. We can Kong the west, but need to build the east. At least we have our single pair. So I think we're in really good shape. We have very little risk here. We do have a 9 bam pair now. So we just want to think about that. We could maybe use it to help us get a joker.
7 bam. 8. 5 card. 2.
No. Let's see, 9 dot is out. So we're not focused on efficiency at all. We targeted the multiple, so we're optimized. Okay, let's Kong. So we need east. Here goes 1. So we're going to need a joker. There's a joker. Okay, now here's a 9 crack pung across from us. 2 crack, oh, that's a Kong, sorry. And then 2 crack pung on the right, both with jokers. We do not need. We got the East. Okay, so the 9 bam pung we didn't need, did not garner a joker, sadly. But we're ready to Kong and pung. There we go. Oh, we don't need that. We need single pair pung. But now we have options. So if any one of these go down, we could call it and be ready to win. Okay, so that can be our pung. Let's see. I don't see any of these out. Let's see. This 9 crack out there. Let's throw the 6 bam. Okay, and we need this. So we're ready to win on an East. So we're not taking anything. We need that as our single anyway. And we could use a joker if we need to. Okay, 1-9 Kongs. So they're doing the second hand from the bottom. They need 3-5-7 in the middle. 3-5-7. I see 7 bams, so they need dots. 3 dot. I see 2 3 dots. 2. They can't win. They're kaput because there are 3 5 dots out and there are 3 7 bams out. So there is no way for them to win. I wonder if you have to wait. My hand is what? Why is my hand? That's not how the game works. Oh, they're using tournament scoring. They use tournament scoring here. That is not how in person goes. They have a one. Oh, new to the card. So they could be playing the 4th hand down. I was thinking they're playing the 2nd hand from the bottom, but they were playing the 4th hand down with flowers. 1-9. So here at I Love Mahj, if you disqualify somebody and you're wrong, you are disqualified. But that is a league, that is a tournament rule, not league rules. So this site plays with tournament rules. So this, just be mindful of that. I don't do that very often. So there's a lesson learned. You will be disqualified in an in-person game. If you are wrong, you just pay 50 points. You keep playing. You just pay 50 points so you could still be in the game. So I did not know that. So anyway, we're done. And I don't see what you do at this point. That's kind of weird. Okay. So now there's no way to get out of here. Oh, can you cancel? No. Cancel. That doesn't work. All right, whatever. I don't know what to do. Call dead? I don't like that term, by the way. If you're wrong, your hand will be declared. You will be disqualified. Fine. That is a little bit frustrating, to tell you the truth, because that's not league rules. All right, so let's just start over. Yeah, they're doing the addition hand, 4th one down. I thought they were doing the 2nd hand from the bottom. There were 3 5 dots out, and there were 3 7 bams out. So I thought, oh, they can't win, but they're actually playing 1-9 with 10. So if you see 1-9 out, don't assume it's the 2nd hand down. Okay, and also if you declare someone, if you disqualify somebody, If you're wrong, you'll be disqualified. That is a tournament rule, not a league rule. Okay, so we have another white spread. Joker, flower, northeast, green, 3-band, 1-3-5-8 in cracks, 1-2-5-8 in dots. If these were yours, if these were your tiles, what category would you focus on? And I'll give you 10 seconds. If these were my tiles, I'd play little odds or 1 or 2, 3, 4, probably little odds or 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would let the winds go and the 8. There's a 2, here's a 3, a 1 dot pair now. So we could do either little odds 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 3 of some kind. Since we have a 1 dot pair, 1, 2, 3, maybe this 3-band could go. We could still do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, we do have mixed suit Kongs in here, or mixed suit 1 dot 2 crack 3-band, no gaps. We could also do 1, 3, 3, 5. Let's let the 5 dot go. So now we have a 1 dot pung, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, no 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 crack, 1 dot pung. A lot of little odds, 1, 3, 5. Let's let the 5 crack go. I'm thinking we could maybe play the concealed odd hand, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3 crack, 1, 3 dot, 5-band pair. Let's see. Let's let the 5 dot. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we're passing like numbers. We have to. No, we don't have to. We could keep the 5 and pass the 2 and pass 1 blind. 1, 3 crack, 1, 3 dot, 5-band. Maybe this 3 can go. Because we could still do 1, 3 dot, 3, 5 crack, second hand down. Okay, so now we can keep going. And we can keep going. Okay, there's a 3. Ooh, we ended up with that 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dragon. We have third hand from the fourth hand from the bottom. 1, 3. This 5 can go. Hello, Wes. 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 3, 5. I think I would let those go and focus on little odds. Maybe we can make that better and get rid of the dragon. Okay, there's a 5 and a 4. We could let that go. 6, 8, 4. So there's our keepers, 1, 3, 5 of some kind. Let's pass 3. Okay, we got the 5. All right, here we go. So we're just going to gather. We have 1, 3, 5 of some kind. Little odds, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 of some kind. Maybe the concealed hand. There's the 3. So we could maybe try for the second hand down. Pung Kong, Pung Kong. 2, 2, 3. Now, somebody kept the 2s. Okay. Don't need that. No. We're maybe playing the concealed hand. 1, 3, 1, 3, 5. There's a 1. So we could do 1, 3, bam, 1, 3 dot, 5 crack pair. Let's let the 5 dot go. Oh, we already let that go. No. So we need a 5 crack. I typically don't get too excited about a concealed hand until we get our pairs, if there are pairs in there. We need pair flower, pair 5, 1 3 dot, 3 5 bam. We could maybe do the first or the second hand down, 1 3 dot, 3 5 bam, or we could do the concealed hand. Let's see if we can get a flower. There we go. So now I would commit because we have one of our pair. So we can do 1 3 1 excuse get over there. 1 3 bam, 1 3 dot. So those would go there. 1 3 bam, 1 3 dot, 5 crack pair, pair flower. Concealed odds. 1 3 5 little odds. We need a 1 bam or a 5 crack. Okay, this is still a little bit risky because we need 2 pair, but one good pick. We could still play 1 3 3 5 and let those go, depending on what happens. So we could switch to the second hand down if this doesn't work out. We need a 1 bam or a 5 crack. I don't see either of them out. That could be risky. Okay, east-west pungs. Okay, now this we don't need that. East-west pungs. So they're playing the first hand. They let the north-south go, and they needed to Kong those. East-west pungs. Oh, they could be playing north and south with the year. They could be playing the second hand from the bottom on the left. There's 2 north-south and a south. Now this is where we have to make a choice because, well, we could Kong. I don't think I would because let me see, 1 3 3 5. There's a 5 bam out. I think I would stick with what we have. The tiles are going down. There's two 5 bams out. I would just stick with what we have. Okay, now this player on our left probably has our 5 crack. So we probably will not get this game. There's our 1 bam though. So we are ready to win on a 5 dot, our 5 crack, I mean, right here. But the player on the left is playing 5 7 9 dragon, third hand down. They need 5 cracks. Maybe they don't have their 5s. What? Oh, okay. So we have a winner over there. Over here, they do have a pair, so our 5 crack was in the wall. And over here on the right, they're playing north and south with the year. And across from us, 1 2 3 4. All right, let's play. We could maybe play 2 more games. So we have another widespread. Jokers, flower, north, red, white, 4 5 6 8 and bams, 8 crack, 2 8 and dots. If these were your tiles, what would you focus on? Which category would you focus on? If these were my tiles, I would focus on probably like numbers with 8s. There is a little bit of evens in here, but it's not quite right. We could maybe do 2, 4, 6, 8 singles with eights. I think what I would do is probably let North 2 go. The other thing I was thinking is we could do 4, 5, 6 with dragons, but the dragons are weak. Consecutive run, evens, like numbers. Yeah, the evens is not quite right. We have 4, 5, 6 in there, but we also have like numbers with eights. I think what I would do is focus on 5, 6 with eights, because we could maybe do 5, 6, 7, 8. I would let the 4 go. Okay, so here's a northwest. I'd let one of those go. And then I'd probably focus on the eights. Okay, so we have, there's a 2. You can all, oh, there's the green. Okay, so now here's east and west. Evens are not evens, but winds are going around. Maybe we can play news with dragons, or 6, 7, 8, 2. No, let's let it go. I would do eights with dragons. Let's see if we can get some eights in here. No. Okay. We have tiles. Let's put an east in there. Okay, so we have eights with dragons. We're an underdog. Here's something a little interesting that we could do. 7, 8, 9 with dragons. Let's just see. I usually discard the wins. There's another potential chow. Okay, there's 2 white dragons now out. We might need to, if we play the dragon hand, we might need to pung on that last dragon. Maybe Kong the green and let the red be our pair. Chow 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let's just see what comes in. This white dragon is going to be risky. Flower. So there's our pair. This 8 can go. Let's see though. We could switch to the concealed dragon, like number dragon hand, 8s with greens. We have 2 potential chows in here, 7, 8, 9 in cracks, or 6, 7, 8 in dots. A 5. No, that's too far from 8. 2, 7 cracks are out. There's a 9. It's redundant though. There are 2, 7 cracks out now, so let's let the 8 go. Or actually the 9. We can still keep the 8 and maybe play like numbers with 8s. Don't need that. There goes this 7. So I think at this point the 8s need to go. This 9 can go because we need the 7 either way. That 9 is redundant. Okay, now we have to make a choice. I think the white needs to be the pung. The green can be our pair. We could Kong that and just use jokers for the white. Or we could pung it and Kong, oh wait, we would need 2 jokers. I think the white dragon needs to be a pung. How many 8 cracks are out? 2 8 cracks are out. Because also what I'm thinking is we could switch to like numbers with 8s and dragons, because we would have to use 2 jokers for the red and 2 white dragons are out. Either way, we're going to need jokers for our 8 crack because 2 are out. The other option here is to Kong the red, chow let's say 6, 7, 8. Let the 8s go and play the dragon chow hand. The green dragon would be our pair. Oops. So the green dragon would be our pair. We would do 6, 7, 8 in dots. Let the 8s go because there are 2 8 cracks out. Let's Kong. We have our pair. We need a 7 dot. Don't need a flower. We just need a pair. Nice. So now if the white dragon goes down, we could pung and be ready on a 7. Oh, darn. 7. Oh, okay. Now this is better. Wait, no. How many 9 bams are out? There's a 6 bam Kong out. There are no 9 bams out. So we can switch to 7, 8, 9. The thing, how many 5 dots are out? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do it. Because there are 2, 3, 5 dots out. There's only one more 5 dot. No 9 bams are out. So we may be able to get that 9 bam. Oh no. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. We still need a pair in here. Let's just see what happens. We need the 9 band. Oh, stinker. We came a long way there. We needed a 9 band and then a pair white dragon. Okay, we're going to try to play one more. Okay, this time we have a pair. Pair 1 dot. If these were your tiles, what would you focus on? Which category would you focus on? If these were my tiles, I would optimize by targeting the multiple, the 1 dot. Then I would maximize by using most of my tiles for consecutive run 1, 2, 3, 4. We could maybe do little odds 1, 3, 5. So 1 dot pair 2, 4, 5 3s. West can go, 9 can go. This 4 is a keeper. 3, 4. And then we have one of the 7s can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind, maybe little odds. Let's see, we have a 3 band pair. I think this red can go at this point. Okay, there's a 3 and a 1. We have tiles we can pass east 7. Now we pick a hand. This is when you pick a hand because we've run out of discards. We have all keepers 1 through 5. We could play little odds 1, 3, 5, or we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the beauty of consecutive run. We have little odds here 1, 3 bam, 3, 5 dot, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3 bam, pair, 1, 2, float pair. Well, we would need a 3 dot in order to do that. The 4, let's let the 4 crack go. So we could maybe do the second hand from the bottom, but we need a 3 dot. We'd have to let the pair of 1s go. I would rather use the 1 if possible. What I'd like to get in here is a 5 crack and a flower. Maybe we could play the concealed hand. There's a 1 and a 2. So now we're going to keep going. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 dot pung. With a 1 dot pung, we do not need a 5 dot. 1 dot pung, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Really, this 2 bam probably can go. The 2 bam is not really helpful. 3s, maybe. We'll see. Okay, we don't need those at all. There's a 4. So now we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 crack. We still have all 3 3s represented. We have no 5 cracks, so I think the 1 can go. One bam pung. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's just pass 2 here. There's a 4. And we have a pair of 7s in there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pair, pung pair. I think I would let that go. I would pass 2. Okay, no keepers. So we're going to just gather. I would probably play 1, 2, 3, 4 second hand down in 1 suit. Let's see what happens with the 3s. Well, clearly nobody wants the 7s. I wouldn't do anything there. We have just not enough strength to call anything. We're just going to wait. There's a flower. Okay, so let's see. Let's throw the 7. Nobody wanted it. Okay, let's let the 7 go. There's a 5 dot. So we have 1 through 5, pair 3. We're just going to keep gathering. 1, 3, 5, 4. There's a 4. We could do 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 band. There's a 4 crack out. I think we should let the 4 crack go. Here's a 5 dot. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I would let this flower go because that gets risky if you hold it. If without jokers, do you hold longer to call? No, not necessarily. I delay calling until I know what hand I'm playing. Once I know what hand I'm playing, then I will claim discards to make exposures. But until then, I don't. I just wait. I delay because I don't want to lock myself in with an exposure. I want to wait and see what comes in and then base my decision on the strength of the hand. If I have gaps and weaknesses, then it's there, that weakness creates risk. So I delay. In this case, I know what hand we're playing, 1 through 5, first hand. So if a 4 dot goes down, I would call. And we could still maybe play 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, kong with dots and bams, but I would not call on that because it's just too weak. We could pung the 3, but we'd have to throw away 2 pair. So probably we're playing the first hand under consecutive run. So if a 4 dot goes down, we could pung. Yeah, that's our, we don't need that. Okay, so there's a 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So I know we let a flower go, but we do have 3, 4, 5, 2 ways, but really this pair, not helpful. It looks pretty, but it's really not helpful. That 5 was our pair. Okay, so let's call because we know what hand we're playing and we have no gaps and we have our pairs. So now let's see, 4, 5 bam are out, 3 bam is out. Nobody wants any of these tiles. So that would be a keeper for us, 2 bam or 2 dot pung. We're gonna just have to wait because we're not ready to call. That's okay though. We've got our pairs, which is fine. Okay, we don't want to hold that 6. Who knows what they're doing over there? That's our pair. Don't need to. Now that we have a 4 dot out, we're committed to this hand, really. There's the 2. So now what we really need in here is the 3 dot. We probably should let this 1 dot go. Who knows what they're doing over there on the left? Let's let that go now. Ah, 6s with dragons. That's under evens. Okay, I think we could squeeze in 1 more. All right, here we go. 1 more game. This will be interesting because we have mismatch multiples, misfit multiples here. We have flower, red, 1, 4, 7 in bams, pair 7, 8, 9 in cracks, 2, 3, 4, 8 in dots, pair 2. If these were your tiles, what category would you focus on? Yep, consecutive run, 2 dot. That's what I would do. I would do the 2 dot and not the 7 because 2, 3, 4 is closer to the center than 7, 8, 9. So I would hold 1 through 4 and try to drive it up to 5 and sacrifice the 7. So I would probably pass, let's say, that. Red 7, 8. Actually, we might be able to use that red dragon. So let's pass 7, 8, 9 like that. Now we could maybe make that better and let the 1 go. 1, 8, 9. Oh, then we're left with a pair. Let's keep, let's see. Let's do it. Let's do 7, 8, 9, 1, 7, 8. Let's do it like this. Break up 7. Yep. Okay, so here's East can go. We might be able to do, no. Well, at this point, it's looking like 2, 4, 6, 8 is kind of coming in. Let's do 7, 9 East. There's a 6. Here's an 8. It seems like 2, 4, 6, 8 is the way to go, but it's not gelling. Even though it looks like there's a lot of 2, 4, 6, 8 in here, It's really not gelling for me. I'd rather streamline and do 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna let the stinking 1, 8, 1, 9 go. We don't need 1, 9. I don't like 1, 9. I really don't like it. Okay, so E7, 9 can go. E7, 8 can go. Although here's 7, 8, 9, or 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's let this 3 go. There's 8s. This hand really wants to be 2, 4, 6, 8. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, all right. I relent. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8 of some kind. Let's ignore east and west. East, west. We have 2 4s, 2 6s, 1 2. We have 3 8s. These robots love flowers. Uh-oh, there goes Riley. Is somebody coming? Oh, okay. Got a delivery here. We have east and west with 8s. Let's let the 4 go. All right. Oh, Joker, Joker, Joker. Ignore, ignore. Thank you. Okay, I would consider switching to east and west with 8s. East and west with 8s, or like numbers with 8s. Yes, stinker. 4th hand down. I think we had too many pairs for the 4th hand down. Yeah, Riley. I'm thinking east and west with 8s. We're not ready. 2. Oh my goodness. 2 6 8. We let a 4 go. 2 4 6 8. No, it's too late now. We have a gap. No 4. Riley, please. Little stinker dog. Oh my gosh, my ears. Oh, look, double joker. Oh, yeah, we are going to capitalize on that. Thank you. Okay, single pair pong kongs. We are good to go. Kong. Okay, we are ready on a west. Riley, please don't. We need a west. Oh, Riley, you are quite a piece of work, this dog. Oh my gosh. No, please. We need west. Seriously, Riley? Okay, Mah Jongg. We got a winner on these robots, these stinking, formidable, sketchy, shady robots. All right. That is going to do it for this live stream. I'm going to snuggle my little doggy. He's clearly needs some attention. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We got to talk a lot about tile efficiency, and we worked with consecutive runs, and you even got to see me get disqualified for wrongly disqualifying somebody with a 1-9 hand. I thought you can watch the rewind after this repost, and I don't remember when I think it was 2 hands ago. They had 1-9 out, and I thought they were playing the second hand from the bottom under odds. So I declared them, I disqualified them, but they were playing the 4th hand down with the stinking addition. So I got disqualified. At I Love Mahj, if you wrongly disqualify someone, you are then disqualified. That is a tournament rule That is not what happens in social play. So just be prepared for that. That was a reminder for me because I was expecting to continue playing, which is how it's done in a social game. I was ready to win, actually. So, yeah, that was a little disappointing. Yeah, good to know. On Mahjong time, you get a 25-point penalty. It should be a 50-point penalty, but you still get to keep playing. That's the way it should be done if you're playing by league rules. So I hope you enjoyed it just the same. Moderators, thank you for helping monitor the chat. I appreciate you doing that because it does help me focus on gameplay with commentary. So I appreciate that work so much. You're welcome, Charlotte. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to make mistakes for your benefit. We're going to be back tomorrow for the Obsessed Tier Let's Play, and then members only on Wednesday. Then we'll do Hong Kong Mahjong on Thursday, Simply Social Friday, beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll do Beat the Pro from 6 to 8. And then we'll do Ricci Mahjong on Saturday morning from 9 to 11. That's the plan anyway. At the moment, that is the plan at the moment. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with work, so I might have to let something slip so that I can get caught up. Lots going on. I have a lot going on right now, so we'll see. Stay tuned on my Facebook group and the community tab on YouTube. If I do cancel a live stream, I'll post it either on Facebook or on the YouTube community tab. If you don't use Facebook, just stay tuned on YouTube. All right, we'll see you again later in another live stream this week. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell. If you do, that way you'll get notification for when I post a new video or go live, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.